Alright, welcome to the driveway. It's been a while. Just getting back into some things. I know I did a video with my uncle about a bow that my grandfather had made years ago. Gosh, almost 40 years ago. Probably 40 years ago. Because I got it when I was 3 or 4 and I'm 44 now. I had to restring it and I just used a double twist with some of this artificial sinew. And my wife made him my son a little quiver, and I made some little short arrows. Some of them are fletched. One's fletched, one's got an artificial fletching. I think Hell's Angels just decided to pass my house, so that's what that is. But one thing I did, well, that one's actually got a head on it. I took 38 special cartridges, the spent cartridges, and put on the end so that I'd have little thump arrows so he couldn't get in too much trouble. He's 3, but he can shoot this thing and it just bounces off most things. Still try not to hit the car, you know. A couple of these we've lost the ends on. We'll have to fix those. I didn't glue them, I just put them on there as pressure. They tend to come off, but now there's a real one. And instead of using bone on this arrowhead, I used a little piece of PVC pipe. Some of that thick-walled, bigger gauge PVC pipe. I just got some scrap, and it looks almost just like bone. And it operates similarly. So that's just something for him to have fun with. And again, his wife made him a little quiver. But what got me excited this week was I found a similar styled bow at the flea market, and they of course had left the string on it for years, and so to get it to have any strength at all, I've had to bend it a lot more than it really needs to be, although that's pretty close to what I'd want on a real bow. Well, this is a real bow, but that's pretty close. Right at it, really. But I had some hemp string, and instead of making a sinew string, I went ahead and tried it with hemp, so it's working pretty good. This bow, the lady said she had gotten it from a group of Indians living in Alabama. They made these and sold them as a family, sort of, and I'm not sure what tribe that could be. I know that the Cherokee, which is what I'm used to in my area, in North Georgia, the Cherokee up into North Carolina, would be a possibility, but you also have the Creek and the Choctaw and gosh, a few other tribes in Alabama. Alabama's got several tribes, so I'm not sure what part of Alabama, but if you look at the two bows, my grandfather grew up making these in the foothills of the Appalachians, and this is sort of the combination of cultures, Native American and what came over with the Scott-Irish, but it's a very, what I think of is a toy bow made in a sort of an Aboriginal American style. And this one's similar, but it's different. You can see my grandfather, he just took the outside of a sapling and he just curved this part, he left, and the inside he kind of curved off. This is very rectangular. It's thin, it's carved thin. That's more in my mind like the Cherokee would do. My grandfather was friends with a lot of the guys up on the reservation. He had a really good friend that was related to one of the chiefs, and we have lots of pictures of them together. So I always wondered how influenced this was by Cherokee culture, but I think this is a style he grew up with, that he learned from his parents. This one I think is more Native American rather than Appalachian American, and I suspect that it's authentic. Now, what really surprised me is the lady parted with it for $5, and I know it didn't look like much. It had this synthetic cord that's really torn up. It's got some kind of a rubber inner and a synthetic fiber outer, and it's gone. I mean, it's just, you could still kind of lob some arrows with it, but we had to take that off. And this hemp fiber one's a little better. I've managed to learn to make strings, but I still haven't figured out how to make a bow without it snapping. I haven't learned to read the grain really well. This one has a little bit of a warp, but it shoots fine. It doesn't have a lot of weight on it, but I'm going to film a few arrows going into Little Caesar back here behind me. I have an old pizza box that I was about to take to the dump, so let's test it out. $5, can't go wrong. Nothing else. It's a fun little bow that I can shoot with my son when he's out here in the yard. I can shoot this one and he can shoot that one, and then when he gets a little bigger he can just start shooting this one. Good little get used to bows and practice with, and that's what we're going to use it for. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let me shoot it a couple of times. Okay, I'm only going to be shooting from about 30 feet. The arrows I'm using are oak. This one's got a metal head, just a scrap piece of metal we forged into. I sanded it, I grinded it in shape. Nothing fancy. And this has got a, maybe it's a 45. Yep, 45 ACP shell head on it. Like a thump head, like those I made for my son, keep me out of trouble. These are pretty heavy, fat arrows. I really need something heavier to shoot them effectively, but we're going to shoot Little Caesar down there from about 30, 35 feet. Oh goodness, 30, 35 feet. Nothing's fancy. Okay, that's a good hit with the metal head. Let's look at it. So you can see this heavy fat arrow went through one side and out the other. You see the head there. Nothing extravagant, not a lot of weight on this bow, but you know, it's fun to shoot. Let's try with the thud head again. One thing that's always interested me is the European style that I'm familiar with. My dad was an archer, I am not, but you know, they shoot with it this way. A lot of the Native American shooters will kind of go sideways, and it'll just be a little quick. It's not like a hold and aim, and I don't know what that's about. Maybe some of you could tell me. I suspect it's the difference between warfare and hunting. I think what we're used to in the history books with those European archers, they're shooting probably in an arc trying to come down on soldiers, and what we're used to, the pictures and the depictions, and even the people that have grown up in the tradition with the Native American hunters and the early American immigrants that learned to hunt here this way. I think it's hunting rabbits and small ground animals, so there's more of a be on the ready and then just jerk off a shot kind of thing. I think that's the difference, I suspect, but I don't really know. That last hit with the thump arrow knocked my box in half along the serration, so we're going to shoot my son's bow really quick. It's more of a toy. That really, the other one's not much more than a toy either, but it's fun to shoot. We're going to shoot this one. I'll show you a little bit how it does. It's not really accurate. I can't shoot these longbow arrows, but I'll get his little quiver, and we'll see if we can kill the sea monster with it. Let's get this one with the actual head on it. But it's a cool little bow. I love that I still have this after all these years. These are river cane arrows. They're not oak, but let's see. Oh, we got him. We got him in the tail, see? There, he's deflating. Oh, goodness. He's going. I think he's a two-part air chamber, though, so. I say that little one actually does as good as this big one. Short range. We'll shoot him. We'll give him the coup de grace with the... There we go. With the big bow. The reason I'm killing that, I'm not trying to be wasteful, but kids, I saw a terrible video online. This kid got turned over in one of these. He almost drowned. He was underwater for 70 seconds. I'm never going to have another one of these floaties where the kid sticks his legs through again.